Episode 10, Morituri te Salutant, I guess. Maybe. Um, Before we get into this episode, I rewatched the Malta sequence of Dominion. So there's actually very little crossover that happens in here. When they're in the truck, that's during the scene in Dominion. And like Santos's dialogue out the front back of the truck is, the dialogue from Dominion. And then when the truck crashes, um, we see, we cut ahead to when the truck crashes. Brooklyn wakes up for being unconscious or whatever. Or do we see the scene with Santos before that? Well, whatever. My point is, we see the scene where Santos aims the laser pointer at Owen Grady as he speeds away. We don't see Owen Grady. He's not on screen. We only see her just, behind the head, point the laser pointer to send the Atrociraptors off. So actually, surprisingly little crossover. We do have, the addition to canon, I guess, that Brooklyn was technically in Dominion in the back of a truck. We just don't see her. But other than that, yeah. We don't see the Atrociraptors die on screen, other than Ghost, who should be dead for falling that far from a plane, but definitely some of them don't die. I think it's Tiger who, spins out on some gravel and doesn't make it to the plane, so, definitely one of them is at least alive. Red. Red was locked. We saw, in Dominion, you see Red get locked in one of the crates by Barry and Grady. And that's why we see Santos release Red from a crate in the previous episode. So Red is definitely alive. Tiger, I think it's Tiger, is definitely alive. I think Panthera, the last we see of Panthera is hitting a bar in the chase and they're knocked out or something. Or maybe they're dead from the high speed. They probably might be. They could be dead conceptually. They're probably not. So it's entirely possible the Atrociraptor group quartet. It's possible the Atrociraptor quartet survives the show, because it's possible they survived Dominion. Another comment I wanted to make, rewatching that Malta scene, is how much I hate that the Atrociraptors move precisely as fast as they need to for any given scene. They can chase down a guy on a motorbike. They can chase down people on a little car, and they can chase down people on foot, but they can never catch any of them. So they're incapable of catching Claire on foot. They're incapable of catching a truck, which is not going to be as good at maneuvering as the dirt bike that they are also incapable of catching. It gives me very strong action movie schlock vibes of just oh, these characters can't be in any real peril, so no matter what, the enemy will fail. Or in an action movie when somebody is fighting a bunch of enemy foot soldiers and they all come at them one at a time. It's just if they all came at once, they'd win. This is stupid. It's the kind of shit that takes me really out of a movie. You could do it in ways that make it work. I think an example of it working was season 1 of Camp Cretaceous with Toro, where he couldn't turn for shit, right? So the characters bobbed and weaved, and Toro would trip over himself, and it was made an establishing character trait of that dinosaur that, in this universe, at least Carnotaurus are not good at turning, which sounds a little silly when you say it, but if an animal's built for a burst of speed straight forward, it's believable, and then it motivates, it explains the chases, it works. You see the Atrociraptors take spills and stuff, but there's still plenty of sequences, the rooftop. When Claire's running on the rooftop, the Atrociraptor is just running her down, and it is just not catching her. She's got T-1000 from Terminator 2 speed going. It's completely unbelievable. I want to talk about this. This is not the demon Carno. So are we going with the blind Aloe and this non-demon Carno being two other animals that were in Malta, separate from the two we see in Dominion? Or are we just being lazy and subbing in the existing Carno skin for the demon here in the show? I wonder. Does it have a broken horn? It's got the broken horn. Huh. I mean, I guess maybe it's supposed to be the demon because it does look a little bit darker, but I mean, the demon was very dark. Hold on. Yeah, like this guy is like flat black basically across his body. It's only his face that's kind of red. Also, the way his horn is broken is maybe a little different than the one in the show here, because this is more like the tip is broken off and less like the demon Carno appears to be missing essentially the entire horn. Um, it's broken off much closer to the base, although also like the horns on this Carno look a little larger than like the demon's horns in general look kind of in proportion to the head. Maybe just a smidge. Hard to say what they're going for here. I mean, like the fact that they both have a horn broken on the same side really makes it feel like that's what they're trying to have it be, but it's completely the wrong color. So I'm like a little taken aback by that. Okay, is that literally Ghost like coming out of the ocean, shaking off the ocean water after falling out of the plane? I think so. Okay. So yeah, this is essentially after everybody's left Malta. Oh, and this was the where the biosyn extraction was coming for Santos. I was gonna say as well. You don't see what happens to her in the movie. Like I think the last thing you see is Barry's gonna arrest her. She's got her hands behind her head. She lasers Grady, sends the Atrociraptors after him. And then we don't know what happens. And then in the show, we see her trigger the bomb to get away from Barry. So the show is showing us what happens to her. However, in Dominion, there is a scene in the Biosyn control room with Dodson where the plane is coming in, and somebody tells Dodson, "We heard from Santos, Owen Grady, and Claire or whatever are on the plane." So we know in the context of Dominion that she probably almost certainly escaped capture, even though she like doesn't ever come up again, right? Which is interesting because it means the show can kind of do whatever they want with her. I mean, certainly now after this point, but like, also like that's another thing that I didn't even like consider in my initial feelings for Dominion, but on like rewatch, it's really jarring how like this villain character is just like set aside and it never establishes what happens to her. She never like gets her comeuppance really. Like if there wasn't the control room scene at Biosyn, you could, assume she gets arrested and that's fine. But then there's just like the throwaway line that implies she escaped, which I didn't really catch. Like I never really caught that angle of things. So like, that's like on rewatch, that's unsatisfying taking Dominion as its own piece of media. Like, especially knowing that, Rebirth is coming out and nothing from Dominion's really carrying over to Rebirth. It's kind of rebooting things. In-universe reboot, but like a reboot nonetheless. So it's yeah, like narratively unsatisfying within Dominion that Santos is just kind of she exits the scene. The scene ends with Santos in it. It feels like it should be something that's picked up again somewhere at some point, and it just isn't. Maybe there's another scene in the director's cut. I don't know. I didn't watch the director's cut, so.
I bet his phone is off. How does that help us?
What do I always say, Darius?
No way that'll work. Okay, so we got
What is he like?
prod, some flares,
remote hacking his phone to turn it on? That doesn't seem
No handcuffs. No French intelligence.
plausible.
Arrest
He's not the
Santos
FBI. I wonder if Santos is being extracted. Hold on. So Santos is being extracted to Biosyn Valley, presumably by helicopter. She never shows up in Biosyn Valley. But this could be another thread going on during the second half of Dominion when they're in the valley. The campers here are chasing down Santos while, everything else is happening. But then they link up with the other two campers who are going after Bumpy, and then we get the whole crew back together. I really hope I hope we don't have too much more interpersonal fucking drama in season 4. Because I feel like at this point, too much of the show has been carried on the twin backs of interpersonal conflict and traveling from point A to point B. I think there hasn't been nearly as much actual like plot or storyline after season 1 in the show. as it felt like season 1 was going to give us. And season 1 also really had this like travel vibe, but it did a bit of a better job of it, I think, because it made sense in season 1 to like, oh, we got to get these campers back together. Some of them have grown apart. Like the amount of road travel and the amount of drama between the characters in season 1 really made sense for a show that was getting the band back together. And then season 2 was just like traveling down a river the whole time. And then season 3 is just like more drama. Like, at least in season 2, the drama was over like, oh, is Brooklyn good or bad? It's like, fine, whatever. This interpersonal conflict this season rubs me the wrong way.
I got it! I know where Barry is!
You do?
I do. You know why?
Because phones are traceable.
Exactly!
Alright, recruit Ben to the goddamn FBI, I guess. Like, yeah, phones are traceable, but are they traceable by like a 20-year-old on a cell phone in the course of like 1 minute? Also, hasn't the aloe eaten enough at this point?
People to fend for themselves.
I guess they could kind of be territorially rampaging, but they're just scavengers. Leave them be. They're just having a little finger food. Toe food? Tofu?
You think these will be enough to wrangle all the dinos? Hand me one of those flares.
Not the flares. It's always the flares. It's always the flares of the Owen Grady hand. That shit gets tiresome. Well, like... Okay, I'm gonna talk about this. The flare thing in Jurassic Park. The T-Rex is interested in the flare because the T-Rex is playing, right? That's why the T-Rex is just testing the cars. The T-Rex is not in a hunting behavior in the breakout scene. She's playing with things. That's why she is attracted by the flare and chases the flare. Because it's interesting. This whole, like... Then it's become a friggin' trope that, like, every animal will see a flare and just chase it. Which is, like... nonsensical. It's one of the tropes in the franchise that like just aggravates me. You know, I've like when they did in Jurassic World, I was okay with it because it was the same T-Rex, a direct callback. Like, fine, do it. It's not the worst, most egregious callback I've seen in a film. It's whatever. But then they just keep goddamn doing it everywhere, all the time, just like Owen Grady's fucking hand. It's just like. It makes everything so samey and vanilla. Like, there's no different behaviors between different species. Just every animal reacts the same way to the hand. Every animal reacts the same way to the flare. It's just, it's crap. It's awful.
Boss! This way!
Must kill flare. Plot demands I chase the flare.
We'll lead them into the catacombs!
Yeah, that... There's literally a massive theropod and herbivores. Like, they would not all keep running in the same fucking direction. There's an existential threat to those herbivores' lives. They're gonna split off.
This was the last location of Barry's phone. We know where Santos and the handler are.
I said, but...
Oh, good.
You weren't
You're
quick
already
enough.
here. The handler tried to kill you. It's time to even the score.
Yeah, ultimate test of loyalty and make Brooklyn kill her. Do this and join me as my apprentice. This is fun. Oh, nope. Oh, damn. I was hoping for more there. I thought, you know what, the dueling training methods, that would have been an interesting little dramatic moment, but then they just immediately, nope, the laser wins. I like the whistle more. I think the whistle's more interesting. The laser calls back to the Indoraptor. The laser feels like you could convey more information to a trained animal by different whistle signals than you can by a green and red laser and a few, like, audio cues. I think the whistles are cooler. Just, they're more interesting. Also, I'm a big handler fan. Oh, maybe I judged it too soon. Okay, this is great. No, I judged the scene too soon. This asserting dominance thing is great. Don't do the hand though. The hand works here because it's a raptor. That works a little bit more. Also very interesting because this is red. This is not one of her core raptors. Am I gonna get my desire to see the handler just like take her raptors and leave? Yeah, a trained animal should still have self-preservation, right? Like, there's a limitation to how much you can train in being a berserker into an animal. Ah, that's great. Fuck yeah.
Two can play at this game.
Just gonna quickly add in editing that this is like the best scene of the entire season. This Atrociraptor dominance display thing is great. Is she bringing in something else? Beckles or something? Part of the reason I judged that scene so harshly when the Atrociraptor pounced her is it was looking like your traditional, like, Chaos Theory, Camp Cretaceous, cutaway character dies moment. You know, you see the animal attack and then they cut away quickly. And then, you know, that's how they do a character death. So they kind of played me with that one. I'm not going to lie. They kind of tricked me. Good for them. Another way they could have done this. So we've got the dumb brain chip thing from Manticore, right? Which carries over into Dominion. It's supposed to be like the same brain chip that calls the animals back in during the firestorm, right? Why, you know, I don't like the brain chips. I think it's stupid. But it's established both in film canon and in, you know, the extended canon of Camp Cretaceous and Chaos Theory. So why not just say the Malta animals had brain chips in them and have them like, oh, you know, somehow they know that. Put a scene in earlier where they learn the animals have brain chips. And then the solution to call the animals back to stop the rampaging in Malta is to activate the chips and call them back to the market. Like, that would work better. This scene here of them on two people on scooters with flares rounding up the animals breaks, like, it's unbelievable. It breaks reality. It's not remotely believable that every animal would react to a flare the same way. It's not remotely believable that a bunch of herbivores would start chasing the flare when there's already a massive theropod chasing the flare. It's preposterous to me, but whatever. That's my writing take. They seriously rounded up this many animals? Where's the Carno now? Coming yet?
Where's the Carnotaurus?
Yeah, exactly. This whole the Carnotaurus really makes it feel like it is the demon Carno, despite the different color. I'm a huge fan of the style of the demon Carno. Why is it not blacker than this?
The Atrociraptors aren't the only dinosaurs biased and trained.
Sick. Where can I get one? Not the fight I thought I'd get in the show, the Atrociraptors versus Carno. It's a fun little, like, pseudo callback to Jurassic Park. We're gonna have an actual dinosaur die in this show, like a notable dinosaur.
Stop!
I don't think that's would work. Apparently it understands. Oh, come the fuck on,
This
dude.
again.
Yeah, exactly. This again. What the? Okay. Holy shit. I mean, listen. I've never been this torn. Because this is like my favorite character from the show dying, but also she died doing the thing I hate the most, but also she got punished for doing the thing I hate the most. So it's like, how am I supposed to feel right now? This is what happens in Jurassic World Evolution 2, if with the Atrociraptor versus visitor kill animation, where the visitor does the handout thing and then the Atrociraptor just grabs their hand and kills them. I would prefer if she didn't even do the hand thing because I hate it, but like, god damn it, man. I don't get the ending I wanted. I wanted her to just get away. Did it eat her? Like wholesale just chomp her down? I think so. What do we do now, guys? Let's go! Get the fuck out of here!
But we can pick up more Atrociraptors from Bias and
Ooh, confirmation there's more. Interesting.
I'll handle this.
make it quick. This drone isn't going to wait forever.
Don't leave us again. Come home.
Maybe they can help us.
Help us.
What?
She should just kill them.
This is a long time coming.
If they were so good at meddling with our operations, imagine what they could do if they were on our side.
We're not selling our souls to her.
You think this is a game?
Just get on with it and stop wasting our time.
There we go. She realized it too late.
You get the horns! Hands in the air! Arrête!
Was this coordinated or improvised?
I've wasted so much on you.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb,
Fake
huh?
harm and childish friendships will make you whole.
And I certainly don't need you. I don't even need them, but I want them in my life.
Bitch slapped.
Check mate.
Keep the arm though. That's useful.
Time to trade bracelets.
Sorry I had to use a laser back there. You knew? How did you?
Because I know you, superstar.
Okay, so improvised plan.
That drone copter, it's headed to Biosyn headquarters.
You're right. And it would be a shame if you and the helicopter went missing while I cleaned up this mess.
Bro, they're essentially children.
Yeah.
You're French intelligence. Yeah, let's just send these kids into danger. Fuck it.
And thank you.
Using Biosyn's own tech against them to get into the valley is pretty good. I think they should have stole the helicopter drone rather than Barry letting him do it, because it feels completely insane for this person to be like, yeah, sure, go on, go into danger. Man, I just wanted the handler to make a break for it. That sucks. That sucks that she had to go out like that. I don't give a fuck about this. Go back. Here. Okay. Yeah. I mean, whatever. This didn't do much for me overall. This season really lost me, I think. Season 2 had... I had some qualms with Season 2, but it had enough stuff to draw me back in. Season 3 feels like another step down from Season 2, which felt like a step down from Season 1. I don't know. I don't really care about the Dominion crossover. There wasn't really anything new and interesting with the dinosaurs this season. We got some interesting stuff in Season 2 with the Sukas and the Majongs, but here it's just, the Atrocities being the Atrocities. The Pyroraptor didn't really exhibit anything that made it stand out that was particularly unique beyond diving into the snow, which strained believability. There's a lot of this season that strained believability for me. There's a lot of stuff that I just did not buy into. I did not buy that animals would be able to do the things they did or react this way, or the people would make the decisions they made and things like that. With Barry here at the end. I don't know. I mean, I'll definitely tune in for Season 4. It's not like I'm going to stop watching the show or anything. People said that the show did a lot to patch up Dominion. How? The only thing it really patches up from Dominion that stands out to me is Santos actually gets a closure on her character arc of getting arrested proper. Is that what people mean? The show patched up what happened to Santos and the Atrociraptors, and that's why it patches up holes in Dominion? Those are narrative holes, but in terms of world building, they don't really matter. The show, to me, this show makes the world building of Dominion worse. because this show just throws the locusts in with no like build up. It's just like there's like 2 episodes of build up, and those 2 episodes happen on like the same day. To me, this show introduces more holes in the Dominion narrative than it patches, because without this show, we could believe that the locusts have been building up for like a year, becoming a bigger and bigger problem, and the show undermines that, and I think that's a problem. Honestly, the more I think about this season, the more disappointed in it I am, because the things I would have liked this show to do in this season, it really didn't do a good job of doing. That's my opinion. All right. Also, I talked a little bit previously that I think there might have been a meta reason for the breakup between Sammy and Yaz. And so, yeah, they don't get back together by the end of the season. So I'm going to talk about it. In light of the current political climate of the United States, and the election of Donald Trump, there has been a push to remove quote-unquote DEI things from the government especially, but this is also extended to entertainment companies, removing gay representation and representation of minor characters of minority backgrounds. Do we think that the reason the show broke up Sammy and Yaz was because it wants to move away from representing a gay couple on screen? I think that's entirely plausible. I think that's believable, and I think that's fucking cowards out. But it is completely in line with the continuing levels of cowardice exhibited by people in the U.S. government and U.S. entertainment. And frankly, it feels like something Universal would do. They would decide that given the current political climate, that representation isn't important, and they would backtrack on that by breaking the couple up and never addressing them being a couple again going forward. So if season 4 hits, and the breakup is never really addressed in any more way, and the characters are just separate, then I think we can probably say that's what happened here. And the even more egregious thing that I think is not outside the realm of possibility is putting one or both of those characters into a heterosexual relationship to kind of pave over retroactively the representation the show did do, which is probably one of the stronger aspects of the show, to actually have that representation. But, you know, the U.S. has been busy backsliding, so whatever. Anyway, that's my take on everything here with Chaos Theory Season 3. See you in Season 4, I guess.